a young man who enjoys everyday typical days, alongside his guardian and his friend's sister, Sakura. His ultimate goal? To become a hero of justice. A dream inspired by his late stepfather, someone strong enough to help weaks and bring happiness to their face, and for him, feeling joy when helping others. And luckily for him, he has knowledge of magecraft though by his dad. He can magically scan objects and determine their structure and properties, especially melee weapons. Can strengthen the physical properties of objects, including himself, and transmutation, meaning he can change the shape of objects. With reinforcement, he can copy any weapon he sees down to the age. He can telekinetically move the weapons he projects, as well as the weapons inside Unlimited Blade Works, a pocket reality manipulation. Thanks to Avalon and Saber, he has regeneration ability allowing him to regenerate from lethal wounds such as being nearly cut in half by Berserker and Gilgamesh. He fought Kairi and stabbed him with the Azoth sword. He managed to cut off Berserker's arm, which he used an A+ rank noble phantasm which killed Berserker 7 times at once with the release of its true power. However, he is only able to do so with Saber's aid. He fought and parried blows from Kuzuki and Archer. Fought Gilgamesh and cut off his arm. In theory he has access from me to A++ rank noble phantasm, and matched the Gate of Babylon with his Unlimited Blade Works. While Shirou were severely injured and near death, he managed to fight and injure an equally wounded Kairi. Shirou managed to cut through Saber Alta's armor, and destroyed her lungs and heart in sparks liner high with using Kalad Balg's second and hunting. He fought against Berserker, and destroyed an eighth of Berserker's body instantly. He managed to keep up with Berserker, and hitting Berserker 8 times. Before he could hit him also he managed to keep up with Saber Alta. He managed to kept up with Archer and Gilgamesh, and was able to keep up with barrage of noble phantasms from the Gate of Babylon. Thanks to Avalon, he survived a casual kick from Ryder, which sent him flying a few dozen meters, and to the ground from the 3rd story of a building. He managed to survive falling from 8 stories up of Ilya's castle. He managed to survive blows from Kairi that would typically kill him instantly, although his body essentially became a suit of swords from Unlimited Blade Works, allowing him to survive. He can create Avalon, a complete and absolute defense that can block anything from physical and metaphysical phenomena up to the 6th dimension. He was capable of forcing himself to his feet after being nearly cut in half by Gilgamesh to keep on fighting. He was capable of maintaining a harsh training regimen for his magic daily 4 years, turning parts of his nervous system into a magic circuit for an hour despite the pain, it being described as being equivalent to having a burning steel rod shoved into his spine. He can use Kalad Balg's second, a weapon which can pierce through Medias Argus, a conceptual defense. The Shield of Ajax, the only shield capable of blocking Hector's Durindana. Shirou can only construct an inferior version of 4 petals instead of Archer's 7-layered creation. It blocked Archer's hunting, and helped Ryder to overwhelm Excalibur, and since he is bone of a sword, he also has a low-rank pair of short swords. By using them, he used the first pair as a diversion to be deflected. The second pair will strike the opponent as the first pair returns from behind. Suppose the opponent somehow blocks all of his strikes, he will project a final couple to slash them down directly. He can use Eye of the Mind. He can calmly analyze any situation, no matter how dire, considering multiple options, and making intelligent decisions. And finally Shirou's reality marble. Shirou subconsciously records every weapon he sees, analyzing its structure, and storing it within his inner world. When he examines an armament, he keeps its blueprint within his inner world, which allows him to bring it into reality using projection. Normally for Shirou it would take 20 years of training to complete his reality marble. However, manifesting his reality marble requires an insane amount of magical energy. It is usually beyond Shirou's abilities on his own, which it took Rin's magical energy, or in another of Fate's spin-offs, by using Vassal of Holy Grail to using his reality marble, and he cannot maintain Unlimited Blade Works for more than a few minutes. By using Archer's arm, he access to some of his abilities, however he cannot access to Archer's abilities without being overtaken by Unlimited Blade Works, resulting in the gradual loss of his identity, mobility, and life, which his body essentially became a suit of swords from Unlimited Blade Works, which invades his body and mind, killing him gradually. Due to the difference in his and Archer's experiences and internal worlds, Shirou cannot summon unlimited blade works as a reality marble, nor can he use Archer's projections, only those he's seen himself. Shiki Tono. A young kid who after a life-threatening accident nearly killed him, Shiki gained the ability to see the concept of death itself. Soon after accident, his father sent him away to live with the Emiya family branch. Now as adult Shiki tries to live a normal life, and in order to achieve this dream, he have to survive some ordeals. But lucky for him, he is not without power. He is expert knife user, who skilled nanaya martial arts, techniques that use walls and ceilings for assassination. These techniques that allow the user to attack at extreme speeds, to dispatch their target quickly, and footwork that includes powerful kicks and high-speed acrobatics, making it seem like the user vanishes from the target's sight. The acrobatic moves allow the user to use walls and ceilings as footholds to catch their opponent off guard. While Shiki has only received basic training, he learned advanced techniques by observing and mimicking his father. One of the technique Shiki used to kill Arcueid. It's a blazingly fast attack that consists of multiple slashes from head to toe that allowed Shiki to cut Arcueid into 17 pieces before she could react, and the ultimate technique of the Nanaya clan. The method consists of the user throwing their knife straight at their target's heart, while simultaneously flipping into the air above the target's head to snap their neck with their bare hands. He can see spirits and detect the presence of non-humans. He can find non-humans with his sense of smell. He can see the concept of death as lines covering everything, and by cutting along these lines, he can enact fate, effortless cutting through anything and negating regeneration. By piercing a victim's point, he can completely kill their existence and realize their fated death. By cutting the lines of his opponent's techniques, he can nullify them, such as when he disabled Roa's bounded field and lightning magicraft. Wounds dealt through the mystic eyes of death perception will not heal even after a conceptual regeneration of the being. He can sense his own death and instinctively dodge attacks even from his blind spots thanks to his nanaya instincts. He can kill concepts. His eyes grow in potency the more he uses them, which after some time, his eyes couldn't be contained by his glasses. Shiki managed to kill Roa, whose soul is durable enough to survive absorption by the root. He withstood attacks from Sirius Cyan. He defeated Kishimokawa with little issue in Melty Blood event who scaled to be servant level like Saber, spirit guardians of planet capable of taking on threat of humanity. He casually played around full Sirius Arcueid when she was using her full power against her, and forcing Arcueid to use Archetype Earth to defeat him. Although keep that in mind, in Melty Blood events, Shiki got buffed by event rounding on that time like thing his speed and durability, or Knight of Tatara's result. He moved faster than a full power Akaha could track. He managed to cut Arcueid into 17 pieces before she could react, although again, this feat was result of Arcueid being on completely open. His glasses is super durable, not even Arcueid can break them. Thanks to his nanaya instinct, Shiki can keep fighting even in a heavily injured condition, though he lacks much conscious knowledge of his assassination techniques, and can thus only use them subconsciously, although when his alternate personality nanaya is in control, it causing him to act on pure murderous instinct. When Roa manifesting in Shiki's body, his speed and durability sky high rocket. In this state, he can keep up with a high top rated dead apostle. He can hold his ground for limited time against Arcueid, since we must scale him to Roa. Roa at weakest endurable state was scaled to lightning speed. However, based on statement in Melty Blood type game, we can believe he must at least be mid or high servant level fast. Although she'll clear stated both Arcueid and herself are faster than him, he is able to survive full and a direct hit from Lumeni Arcueid, which has weight of planet. His body can regenerate even after being torn apart almost in half with no problem, but every time he takes damage, he loses his identity as Shiki Tono to Roa. He can access to Roa's a month's experience and even switch place with him, or using his mage crafts, he can destroy the metaphysical information of Tatari, and is stated by Cyan to probably be able to kill concepts beyond human comprehension. Shiki is closed ranged combatant. Shiki must get into close range to fully utilize his mystic eyes. Visualizing more complex concepts is very taxing mentally, and can even kill him. he cannot fully use his abilities without giving into his Nanair instincts on the brink of death. He managed to kill a composite entity like NRVNQSR Chaos. Shiki may identify the fated destruction of the relevant part by cutting along these lines. Ignoring all defenses, Shiki can't suppress his supernatural vision on his own, relying on the Mystic Eyes killer, which will eventually be rendered obsolete over time.
Huh?
How fair do you think Shirou vs Shiki would goes? This is our analyze videos. To conclude my previous videos, in these videos, we leave the conclusion to you guys. We just look at their comparable feats and their edge for right conclusion. As we already covered, Shirou can access to numerous long-ranged weapons, while Shiki's only way of fight back is only to get close. This is a plus score for Mr. Emiya. However, as we already discussed, Shiki's Nanair instinct allowing him dodge, even from blind spots, and even if Shiki takes extreme damage, Ha can always switch to his Nanair form, which using his Nanair form of combat to its fullest, so we can believe, as long as Shiki have enough reflex, he possibly can get close to Shirou. As we covered, Shirou's attack ranged from E to A++ Noble Phantasm. But in order for Shirou to utilizing them, he needs unlimited blade works, something that he either needs Rin's magical energy or Miyu's magical energy, and even if he managed to make unlimited blade works, Shiki must be able to destroy his reality marble, as he was able to destroy Roa's bound field, and Arcueid believed that he is able to destroy her marble phantasm. On next subject, hand-to-hand combat can be pretty tricky. Eye of Mind would allow Shirou to take best action possible, but Shirou can't utilize this ability to its fullest, and at same time, Shiki's Nanair combat is incomplete as well. However, if Shiki finds himself at doorstep of death, his Nanair instinct allowing him to utilize the best way form of combat. So I think that is a plus point for Shiki, because of better combat ability, since Nanair combat allowing him to fight against demons at high level. If super high combatant like Shio, who actually trained Archer, was unable to surprise attack on Shiki Nanair, because she could not find a blind spot. Or maybe she wasn't trying, we couldn't be sure on this, but definitely, Shiki got better combat on Shirou, even if we including Eye of Mind, because of Nanair's instinct which allowing him act like any animals, if it find necessary. On next subject, Shirou can access to Caliburn and Avalon. This can be game changer, but there is a problem. Shirou actually can't use either of them at best way possible, because in order to use them to fullest, he needs Saber at his side. Well, he can still use Caliburn, but because of his lack of magical energy, he can't use a strong beam of light like he used against Berserker. Avalon's 6th dimension protection is impressive, because we can believe Avalon is realm far beyond heaven, and basically whether being shot of VI or true magic is completely useless. But as I said, without Saber, Shirou can't utilize this ability either, and even in perfect scenario where he can actually use Avalon, Shiki possibly able to destroy Avalon alongside Shirou. Now that might be big word, but let's take a look at like this. Shiki managed to destroy the definition of chaos itself. He is being stated to be able to destroy any concept even those alien to humanity, and he clearly stated to be able to end the entire world if he wanted. And even if we believing that 6th dimension is referring to multiverse as whole, then Void Shiki also stated she is capable of destroying all of multiverse if he wants, believing that we can make guess Shiki Tono also capable of performing such feat, considering that the only thing that would have stopped Shiki from destroy the world was fact that he couldn't reach it, but he can reach Shirou in this scenario. However, he might still burning his mind on this process before delivering the final blow to Shirou. On next subject, Shirou's speed varies depend on routes, but we can believe that at ideal scenario, with Archer's arm, his speed surpassed Berserk more than 8 times, and was able to keep up with Saber Alter. If we want to scale this to Shiki from his routes, then his version with Roa is possibly in same speed, since Roa clearly being stronger than Kuma, who stated to be in same level of Saber. Now it means that in this version there are at best equal, but if we want to truly pick the best version, Shiki in Melty Blood series managed to hold his ground against Arcueid in full power, to force her to use Archetype Earth, and Melty Blood type game. He defeated Mash, Avenger, and Rider, so best version of Shiki is just too much op. but if we put both of them at their base form, still they are possibly in same speed, as Shiki was able to hardly hold his ground against Roa, and Shirou managed to hold himself against Kiri and Fate Root. Shirou's durability is super high. Rin basically called him vampire in visual novel. However, Avalon's protection can regenerate a destroyed brain, neither it can regenerate an attack from Shiki. On other hand, Shiki shown be able to survive attack of Cheyenne at human form, and regenerate from being torn apart when he was in Roa form, and by nearing to death, his nan-air instinct allowing his body to be at top form shape. Although keep that in mind, their possible matchup can turn out either way. We can't be sure, since for Shiki, he can easily one-shot Shirou with ignoring all of his assets, and the fact that Shiki's eyes is basically a surprise attack itself, while Shirou can also take the W if can keep his range. Now who do you think wins in this matchup? Leave your comment and like in this video, and I can guarantee you, if this video get enough attention, we would see a second War World 3 in this comment section. Have good day.